And we're gonna talk about passing close guard. The thing with passing close guard is you gotta uncross their feet. So don't think breaking open their guard is it's a little bit too ambiguous. It's about uncrossing their feet. For those of you who are taller, you have an advantage, but at the same time, there's also a disadvantage. And you gotta think how to uncross the feet. If you ever look at somebody who has a closed guard, they're basically two hooks. And how do you make these hooks unhook? You either gotta push, pull one out, push one over. And that's why sometimes when you push your knee down, it doesn't work all the time. So we're gonna talk about different techniques of how to open the guard. And everybody should be able to do this. So I think everybody will stay in the same class. And as always, remember, the most important thing about jiu-jitsu is learning and understanding how to be comfortable when it's uncomfortable. This is absolutely vital. Because if you do not take the opportunity to learn these lessons now, the more your jiu-jitsu journey progresses, the more your opponent's training partners are going to exploit that weakness. And a lot of it has to do with fear, a lot of it has to do with not wanting to be in bad positions and all that stuff, and it's understandable. Nobody does, but the thing is that some of us have a tendency to have physical base, strength, power, youth, speed, whatever it may be, to, let's just say, to stay in good positions all the time. I had that privilege, and it turned into a really bad situation for me because I would be always on top. Whenever I'd be on the bottom, boom, I'd be bad. And I went years mostly being on top, and then when it came time to play guard, I had a weak guard. And it's because I always saw them on the bottom, and all I would do is just keep the guard closed. So I'm telling you this because of mistakes I made, and nobody's there to correct it. Because when I started, it was the type of survival jiu-jitsu where if you're getting tapped, you suck, you might as well quit. And if you're submitting others, that's all. It was a measure of progress. Nowadays, it's a little bit different because it's impossible to sustain any form of successful business model as it was back then. But back then, nobody cared about business model. Everybody cared about who's going to quit, because the concept was, especially from the Brazilians that I learned, which is Gracie, is don't waste your time on the white belt that's going to quit anyway. Make them earn your time, your attention, and they're going to quit, and you're wasting your time. And they would tell me that. But then I thought to myself as I matured and evolved in jiu-jitsu that maybe if I don't do that, maybe they'll quit because of that. So for me, it's important to invest the time. It doesn't matter, I don't see it the way that they do, because I always kind of look at it as also a little bit on the lazy side of things. You're not going to make it prove it. But for me, it's important. Everybody's individual progress and individual journey is very, very important. It's most collectively, but individually, it's absolutely very important. And as I always tell you guys, at a white belt level, most important thing, and at this level, you got to be hard to submit. If you're not hard to submit, you're going to be easy to submit. If you're hard to submit, you're going to have much easier time to escape any bad position. If you're hard to submit, your submissions are going to be that much more effective because you're not going to really be concerned with, oh, who's in a position, getting into that position. You've got to be hard to submit. Just Trevor, come on up here, because this is one guy who is very hard to submit. From the very moment we came in here, which was September of 2020. So, do you have one that's here? Yeah, thank you very much. Just go this way. And even just now, I rolled with him, and it's just such a pleasure to see, how difficult it is to submit him, and without really putting it on him, that, he's moving great, fantastic. Give me one more. And he really is, Jenny, come in front of that camera if you could, too. And his movement's really well. There's things that need work. There's things that just require mat time, like open guard. And, but listen, your open guard is only going to be as good as the amount of time you put into to utilizing it. So I congratulate you. We're going to put one more. If I put a blue belt on him, nobody would ever question. So, but what's most important for me is not that you're wearing a blue belt, is that you're forged into a blue belt before you even are actually wearing the blue belt. So congratulations for the very, very proud. Whoa. I think he's like ready to shame and what?
I gotta get a new belt.
You gotta get a new belt? What's the Fuji? Oh my god. You need to let's put the straps back on. Make sure that your belt reflects your degrees. And remember, the sash, according to Master Carlos, should be on the right side. Okay, so when you start tying it, it's basically the sash is on the left side. You go back, and then by the time you tie it, it'll be on the right. It's okay. Don't worry. I'm not picking on you. I'm just saying, okay, because they want around the right side. That's instead right side, and we're gonna put a strap on Mandy's belt on the Mandy has overcome quite a lot of different adversities on the way to this point, but you know, the most important thing is that admirably she never stopped, and definitely we're very proud of you. And you know, everybody makes their progress on your own. Just the simple fact that you guys take time to come and train with as busy as you are, as many kids, and of course Daryl right there. You know what I mean? That's definitely one thing to take it in. So remember, everybody here will have an opportunity to advance, and then behind you will come new people. Who have a whole bunch of new people, new students coming in, and you'll have an opportunity. Look, this side mentors, this side forges, this side teaches, this side in order to become better, more humble, let's say ambassadors of jiu-jitsu, because the objective of this side is not to hammer you to make you feel defeated. It's to teach you something. It's to help you learn, to help you go, so that you, when you're on this side, you're going to have a whole new bunch of people on that side, and you're going to do the same for them. That side is going to be on that side with a whole bunch of different concepts. Okay? So, having said that, we're going to start talking about opening the closed guard by uncrossing their feet. So, everybody, out through the mouth, keep your nose, out through the mouth. All right, we're going to do it two ways.